Please welcome the engineers. Once again, good afternoon and welcome, hockey fans, to Houston Fieldhouse, home of the Engineers. Let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. First for the visitors from Northeastern University. At left wing, a senior from Chattagay Cadet, number 27, Alex Campbell. At center for the Huskies, a junior from Eagle Bizarre, Quebec, number 29, Justin Ritzkovian. And at the right wing is a senior from East Greenwich, Rhode Island, number 11, Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. On defense, a sophomore from North Reading, Massachusetts, number 8, Jackson Dorrington. And a sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 22, Vinny Borghese. And in the goal for Northeastern is a freshman from Orleans, Ontario, number 39, Cameron Whitehead. The rest of the Northeastern Huskies and their head coach, Jerry Keefe. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Engineers of RPI. Leading your Engineers on the ice today, please welcome the junior engineer, Harrison Smith. Starting for the Engineers at left wing, a senior from Stittsville, Ontario, Matthias Lang and Carlos Zernis. RPI hockey fans, please direct your attention to center ice, and we welcome the Anslow family as they participate in today's ceremonial puck drop in honor of Billy Anslow. We'd like to introduce Billy's wife, Christine Anslow, their children, Selena Skiba and husband Todd, Billy Anslow O'Rourke and husband Dan, C.J. Anslow and fiancee Ariel Rosenzweig, and their three grandsons, Dylan, Braden, and Jameson Skiba. Joining them are the captains from Northeastern and RPI. Ladies and gentlemen, today we honor Bill Anslow, a devoted family man, coach, referee, off-ice official, and civil engineer for the Albany County Highway Department. Bill was an avid sports fan and proud member of the off-ice officials for the engineers. Bill always brought a smile to everyone's face, and he will be dearly missed. So please join me in a moment of silence and honor our friend Billy Anslow. And now, to honor and respect our great nations and the men and women who have served and continue to serve America and Canada, we ask that you rise, remove your hats for the playing of the national anthems of Canada and the United States of America.
And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of RPI. It's time once again for Engineers hockey right here on ESPN+. Today it is the first of a 2-game weekend series here in Troy and the beginning of a stretch of 7 of 9 games out of conference for the Engineers men's hockey program. They open up that stretch of games as well as a 4-game homestand with a game right here against the Huskies out of Northeastern University. Alongside the coach, Dan Fridgen, Dan Ball with you here on ESPN+ this afternoon. And Coach, after a week's vacation and the Thanksgiving holiday for the Engineers, back on the ice and warming up for another stretch of ECAC games with a pair of games out of conference. This team comes in 2-6 into this weekend's games. What do you want to see right off the bat here for the Engineers here on this Saturday?
Well, I think they should go out and dictate play. I think it's real important. You've got a visiting team coming in from Hockey East, which is always exciting when you're playing out of conference. And as far as the ECAC is concerned, they had 7 games last night and they went 1-6. So a win here by RPI over Northeastern would be great.
And as Dan Fridgen had mentioned to me before the broadcast as well, the one winner coming here in the Capital Region, but it was Union, who I believe took down Stonehill, if my memory serves. But the Engineers looking to jump onto those winning ways here with a win against Northeastern. A pair of games we're just about ready to go here at the Houston Fieldhouse for the opening draw. Justin Ritzkovian and Sutter Mazzotti. It's controlled by the Engineers off the draw and sent in deep. RPI begins with their top line of Mazzotti centering Beaton and Gagnon. Taken back the other way by the Huskies as it's Justin Ritzkovian, Gunnar Wolf-Fontaine, and Alex Campbell. Up front, Jackson Dorrington, Vinny Borghese on defense, and the freshman netminder Cameron Whitehead, who sees that one go up and over his shoulder and out of play. Nick Strom, Max Malinsky on defense for the Engineers with Carson Cherepak in the cage to our right. The Engineers in their white home jerseys going from right to left across your screen here in the opening 20. Whitehead, a freshman out of Orleans, Ontario. In 8 games, a 2-6 record, a .286 goals against average, .896 save percentage. Cherepak on the other side in 5 games, a record of 1-4, a .384 goals against average, .893 save percentage, 19 total goals against in just under 300 minutes played for the sophomore out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Laurie Surtee back in his own end, paired with CJ Regula, or scratch that, Ryan Burchett. It was Burchett helping on the defense, but that is Regula who's back to grab it. Regula keeps it moving around the far wall, but it's knocked to the middle, snapped on goal, blocked in front of Cherepak. Pulled free by the defender, Regula at the center line. He'll flip it in deep. Whitehead will slow it down. Knocked along the near side wall. The pass out of the zone from Cam Lund was behind his line mate. Lund back to grab it once more. Wheeling his way through center. Break-in pass got knocked down right in front of the blue line. So Lund once again in the visiting black jerseys for this Northeastern group, who comes in with a record of 2-7. They opened up their season with back-to-back victories against Stonehill and Bentley. They also mixed in an exhibition tie against Quinnipiac out in Boston. So they began with an unofficial 2-0-1 to start the year, but Northeastern yet to pick up a victory in Hockey East play so far. 3 of those 7 games that they've seen in conference coming against the University of New Hampshire, who's had a strong start to the season, and you could say that for a good handful of Hockey East teams. But regardless of that, both sides here looking to pick up victory number 3 overall this season. Rolled in on Cherepak. He'll knock that one down just over 2 minutes into our opening period. No score, RPI and Northeastern.
Well, it's real early yet, but speaking of Jerry Keefe before the game, he was mentioning the fact that, you know, it looks like a pretty good year going to start off. You go 2-0 and then drop 7 in a row, but he's had some injuries and been fighting the injury bug lately.
You're starting to see some of those regulars check back into the lineup as the top line center and captain for this group, and Justin Ritzkovian missed a handful of games, missed between October 7th and then the beginning of November 10th. Hit laid right in front of the penalty bench as Billy Norcross knocked down. Here is Smolinski. Near side pass as Finn Brown let it go by, was looking to catch up on the other end, but Nolan Hayes was there first. That is icing, and it's pretty remarkable as This group has scored 20 goals so far in 9 games, Dan Fridge, and they haven't scored more than 2 goals in a conference game yet. So you can look back on the exhibition wins, and that's where a lot of your goals are coming from, but the offense certainly something that's still being worked upon here.
Yeah, it seemed to have dried up, but they'll find their way, and you'd rather go through it early in the season like this if you're going to hit a valley, so that you can handle that adversity. Other players are getting an opportunity to step in and show what they have, which normally wouldn't happen for freshmen.
Knocked off the apron of the goal. Brad McNeil back helping on defense. And you're right, you never know when you have to tap into that depth come January, February, and then into March. So if you're able to get those lessons out of the way early, and it's not overly surprising given that this Northeastern team lost 13 players off of their roster from a season ago, and with 13 new players, as Chairpack will hang on to that one, 13 players out of a 28-player roster, whether it be transfers or freshmen, are new for this Northeastern group, and chief among them Devin Levi, who's now playing games for the Buffalo Sabres. So you're seeing the freshman Whitehead, who's won the job out of preseason camp. But when you have nearly half of your roster being new, you can imagine it would take a little time to get that chemistry going. Yeah,
no question. Of course, their forward that leads the team right now is Alex Campbell. He's got 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points, and he came from Clarkson University, a transfer.
A player who had a heck of a run at Clarkson is Campbell, the senior out of Quebec. Had 26 points in 34 games a season ago for the Golden Knights. Finished 3rd on the team in points and led the team in goals. And he's picked up accolades at the conference and national level for his play through 3 seasons. So a big ad to kind of restock the coffers, so to speak. Here is John Beaton stepping in on the near side, inside out move, and the shot ramps off of a stick up and above the net. Ritzkovian tried to break it free. Here is Lund center right over the RPI logo, and a collision there as Jake Lee was waiting to greet him. Sent in on Chairpack, knocked to the far corner. Strom will give chase as the Huskies begin their change just under 4 minutes into this one with no score. Ardenaz near side, pops it low of the goal. Kept moving there by Dawson. Sent back to the line here is Strom. Shooting through a screen, got deflected or blocked on its way through. Turning the other way and shooting there was Lee, missed the net just wide. Ardenaz near point. Knocked into the corner, Burchett trying to knock it free. Liam Walsh instead knocked it out of that group, but Burchett back on the puck. Pulling it free, but feeling the pressure. Good pressure coming there by Chopani to knock him back to the neutral zone. Burchett again, this time on the near side. 1 on a few, flipped it into the corner, but the defense of the Huskies was there first, turned over. Here is the speedy Tyler Hodson. Sent to the line, Ardenaz near side point, deflected toward the middle, not clear. Here's Hodson again, sent on goal, deflected in front. Loose at the top of the circles as Agnew tried to pull it free. Couldn't get the shot away, and the Huskies survive.
Agnew tried to grab that and then pull it towards him for a shot. He should have shot that right off the bat. Northeastern defenseman reacted very quickly to that.
Dovar Tinling pulls it out of the corner. Tinling forces it in front, and they score! Austin Heidemann roofs the loose puck, and the Engineers, just over 5 minutes into the first, are off and running.
Well, Cameron Whitehead had gone down on that play across the crease and left a wide open net for Heidemann, and he didn't waste any time getting that off. And just under the crossbar, he almost missed the net, but he certainly put it in a great spot to have RPI go up here 1-0.
Austin Heidemann, the senior out of Blaine, Minnesota, that's his 3rd goal of the season. Engineers up a goal here in the early going at home. Heidemann extends his point streak now to 3 games as he's been picking up his play. Now points in 4 of his last 6. And a player that has been a very nice complementary scoring piece in his time so far in Troy. On the board with what you could call a goal scorer's goal as that one's deflected up and into the netting out of play. A whistle and a stoppage with 14:13 to go. here in our first period, a 1-0 lead for RPI, and you noticed it there, Coach, with Cameron Whitehead going down. A bit of a broken play, but that's how you make something out of nothing if you're Austin Heidemann.
No question, and you know what? They got the goaltender to commit on that first shot, and he did, and that left a wide open net. Like you say, a broken play, but it ended up on the stick of Heidemann, and he made sure that it went into the open net. Now, those are the ones you like to fire, try to shoot him through the back of the net, because you never know if an errant blocker pad's going to come out of nowhere.
Speaking of which, that was a blocker coming out of nowhere from Cherpak to make the save on Borghese. Knocked up the far side wall. Ciccarello tries to clear, but it's kept in by Eli Sebastian and forced only as far as the defensive blue line. Sebastian and the rest of the defense were backtracking. Both of RPI's wins, with a record of 2-6, have come when they've scored the first goal. 2-3 when they do, 0-3 when they don't.
Austin Heidemann. He was assisted by number 25, Dovar Tinling.
So Dovar Tinling picks up the lone assist on Austin Heidemann's goal, deflected at the center line by Ciccarello the rest of the way in.
25 Tinling at 5-17.
Tinling's second assist now in as many games as, or excuse me, second assist in 3 games, I should say, as he picked up an assist, his first point as an Engineer against Clarkson 2 weekends ago. Sent to the line, here is Hayes, pulling it off the near side board, shooting, deflected, and it went wide. Picked up by Walton, his pass gets deflected back into the neutral zone and all the way down. Pito Walton, you'll hear his name a lot, and you may remember it as well, as he's another transfer from ECAC hockey on this roster, a graduate transfer who played for Princeton for the last 4 years. Had 21 points in 32 games with the Tigers last year. Good for third in points and led all defenders in points, as you would imagine. You'll see him on the offense doing things like this. He finds Hayes near side. Sent low of the goal off the end wall. It springs its way past Alex Campbell, so the Engineers are able to clear and go for a full sail change. Walton revs it up again, gains the center line at the end of a shift. He'll go for a change after sending the puck in deep. Regula pulls it free, but it's not clear, and that's picked up by Lund in the far corner. Near side here is Fisher shooting, blocked off the skate of Heidemann as he made a bit of a kick save on that one. Regula sends this way for Ardenaz. Pressure relieved as Northeastern backtracks, deflected in deep by Tinling, and now the Engineers go in on the forecheck with 11:47 to go here in the first. Centering pass knocked down by Gagnon. Engineers step in. Gagnon's got it back, deflected along by Tinling at the end of a shift. Gagnon tried to force a pass back to Strom, but got nothing but air on that one. Now a battle along the near side wall. Strom keeps it in. He'll step in and shoot one. Blocker save made by Whitehead. That one goes up and out of play. A heads-up play by Nick Strom to step in and get a good shot on net that leads to a face-off.
And a good job by Whitehead covering up high on the blocker side and committed to the butterfly. And when you go down to the butterfly early, you leave the top shelf open, but he was able to get his blocker on it.
Engineers finishing up their line changes with 11:26 to go. Ciccarello leans in for the draw opposite Liam Walsh. Ciccarello wins the face-off. Loose for John Evans for the moment, but poked free. Only as far as center, a player going down as Ardenaz was there with the stick. McNeil will force it in deep. Borghese keeps it moving. He's got it back in the near corner. Quick breakout, deflected on its way through by Matt DeMellis, negating any icing. Forced into the corner, DeMellis on the forecheck. Walsh reverses. DeMellis again, backhand feed, nobody home, poked away from Ciccarello. Puck is still loose, turned over. Backdoor feed, now loose in front, saved by Cherpak. A breakdown on the defensive end for the Engineers. Carson Cherpak makes the save. Northeastern still pressuring. Sharp angle chance for Chupani. Got blocked back below the goal. Borghese fakes. Here is Walton. Forcing it low. A rolling puck as Chupani had to backtrack and find it. Borghese spinning away from traffic is now Northeastern starting to complete line changes. That shot saved made by on the shot by Richcovian. Jerapak's got that rebound and clamps down on it with 10-14 to go in the first as Northeastern stringing together some of their better chances so far today.
Oh, Liam Walsh had a great opportunity for Northeastern. Jerapak was there to make the save. Found himself alone on right in front of the net. Right before that, John Evans for RPI had made a great defensive play, but somehow the puck found Liam Walsh, and Jerapak was there for the big red.
Face-off won by Mazzotti in the Engineers' defensive end. Shots on goal so far 5-2 in favor of the visiting Huskies. Mazzotti in on the forecheck, tried to pull that puck free quickly, but Jackson Dorrington was there to make the play. Near side wall, Fontaine absorbs the hit from Mazzotti. Mock loose for Nolan Hayes, forced up the far side wall and only as far as center before Regula will send it right back where it came from, and Northeastern will try it again. Dorrington has been shadowed by Mazzotti for a lot of this shift, but he's able to make the play on that one. Quick breakout, here's Richcovian knocked off of his stick. Forced corner to corner, Hayes, the defender, will step in to keep the play moving. Regula knocks it off the stick of the captain, Richcovian. Now, far corner they will scrap, under 10 to go opening period. Laurie Surtee in possession of the loose puck. Here is Mazzotti on his backhand. Takes a hit, one more from Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. Certainly a candidate for the all-name team in college hockey, and Engineers were off for a line change there. Jake Lee protecting on his backhand along the near side, one-handed along for Hodson. Forced along the wall and back to the point. Burchett will turn and wheel. This one goes cross corner, so Smolinski will step in. Smolinski playing his offhand, activating from the point to help on the forecheck. Max Smolinski has played in all 8 games for this Engineers group. He's yet to register a point. One of 3 players on the roster who has not yet picked up a point, as every player on the roster for RPI has played at least 2 games out of the 8 that this group has played. So Smolinski, who was a revelation on the defensive end as a freshman, still helping on the defensive end, but looking to find that offensive spark once again as Hodson finds the trailer. Tinling backdoor feed got knocked down on its way through as Statiker got in the passing lane. Here is Lund gaining the offensive blue line and sending it in deep at the end of his shift. Near side corner, Billy Norcross. Norcross to the line. Borghese sends it quickly for Statiker. Now corner it goes. Norcross tried to center a pass, got knocked down by Tinling. Brackett had it and lost it, turned over at center. The other way come the Huskies, but it's knocked down by Ardenaz in the defensive end. Heidemann finds Brackett, who will go laterally and force it off the far side wall and in deep. Kept in at the line by Laurie Surtee. Sent intentionally wide, the bounce off the end wall. Corralled by Whitehead, and that will take us into our commercial break. With 7:22 to go here in the opening period on a goal from Austin Heidemann, the Engineers hold a 1-0 lead. Back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Andy James at Rensselaer Honda, and this is my buddy Bo. Looking to sell your car or truck? We want to buy it. Are you looking for a great used car? We have a huge selection. That's why Rensselaer Honda has been your Honda dealer for 44 years.
For the love of the game, the team, or for 2, Recovery Sports Grill. At Recovery Sports Grill, you'll always have courtside seats to exciting live sports coverage. And for outstanding loyalty perks, join our Hall of Fame, Recovery Sports Grill, serving up smiles every season.
7:22 to go, opening period here in Troy. 1-0 RPI over Northeastern here on ESPN+. He's Dan Fridgen. I am Dan Ball. Thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday after Thanksgiving. A happy belated Turkey Day to all of our American listeners as Smolitsky will step in and wire one just wide. Hopefully hearing the broadcaster's call as it's knocked from corner to corner. Here is Hodson. He'll trade places at the point and shoot through a screen. Might have been deflected on its way through, didn't miss by a whole ton. Breakout pass successful. Here is Chupani. Near side Fisher, the defender. He was snuffed out right along the blue line. The play whistled down for an offside. Our officials today, referees Cameron Lynch and Adam Tobias, linesman Dylan Lewis, and Brendan Wormley joining us here on the campus at the Houston Fieldhouse. And Dan Fridgen, you were just mentioning something during the break. The ECAC hockey standings that we look at right now, the kind of bunch up that we have in the middle, essentially from position number 2 through position number even 11 and 12 is pretty remarkable in the early going. Yeah,
there's like 2 points. Well, actually 3. You go from 11th Union with 6 points up to number 2 Dartmouth with 9 points. 4 teams, Dartmouth, Colgate, Cornell, Brown all have 9. Princeton, Clarkson have 8.
Mazzotti unable to complete that one. The shot from Surtee from the point, glove down there by Whitehead. He'll hang on as Sutter Mazzotti made a real nice move and had a chance to make it 2-0. But it is remarkable. I mean, the difference between one regulation win separating 2 from 10, and it's similar sentiment that we've seen on the national level, where you haven't necessarily had those super dominant teams to begin the year. The Boston University, Boston College grouping right now is stacked with talent, and you're talking about NHL caliber talent, but still a lot of parity and a lot of good games. As meanwhile Brackett was trying to force it to the middle, taken away from him, forced back out as far as center. It's in the wickets of Laurie Surtee. He finds position and locates Regula, who will start the breakout.
And keep in mind, some teams have played 7 games. RPI, Union, and Clarkson have only played 4.
Williams has scored, and we are tied at 1. After the turnover from Regula, Jack Williams fires it up and over the glove. You could hear some heavy metal on the way through, and we're even at 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, unfortunately, a turnover there. And, you know, with these teams that are struggling offensively, they're looking to get going and executing on a turnover and making it count to tie this game up at 1.
Northeastern goal scored by number 15, Jack Williams.
Jack Williams, his second goal of the season, the sophomore out of Biddeford, Maine. Second goal, 4th point, the goal unassisted at 14:02. Sees a game that's even. Another turnover and a shot gets blocked. Still loose in front of the goal. Pulled free on the backhand by DeMellis. Northeastern now having tied the game, smelling blood in the water and looking to add. Ardenaz forces it up the far wall and out as far as center, allowing Borghese to backtrack. Far side here is Statiker. Snapped off of the leg of the defending Ardenaz and out to the neutral zone. On the shot from Matthew Statiker out of Fenton, Michigan, as we take another look, the graduate student. Another look at the shot there from Williams that led to the game-tying tally. Face off to the right of Cherpak with 5:27 to go here in the first. Walton near point, shooting. Cherpak was screened on its way through. Knocked back out to the neutral zone. Gagnon forces it around Fisher and in deep. Walton is hauled down as he was keeping it moving. No call, however, as Fisher, feeling the pressure, turned over. Here is Gagnon. Against the end wall, he was knocked down by the defending Michael Fisher. Turned over, beaten, had it, but lost it. Ritzkovian at center forces it into the corner, giving chases Alex Campbell. Campbell heard the footsteps of the oncoming Agnew, so he lost it. Meanwhile, here comes Mazzotti. Mazzotti cuts out wide, centering pass in front. It was deflected on its way through to Burchett. Sent to the line, Regula. Shooting one. That one got blocked right in the slot. The other way comes Northeastern. It's led by Fontaine, centering pass to the backhand, and Cherpak had that one all the way as Alex Campbell is denied. Northeastern still in possession, deflected in front and poked out of harm's way just in time by Regula. To the line, here is Dorrington. Left for the defending Hayes, who nearly had to jump by him. Will shoot instead. Missed the net just wide. A good active play there for Nolan Hayes. Knocked from corner to corner by Hodson as Smolinski will flip it out to the line, but kept in by Hayes again. Forced up in the air by Lee, but Northeastern keeps the line. That shot gets blocked and will roll back out to center. Dorrington near side right in front of the blue line, absorbs the hit from Hodson and forces it in deep. 3:45 to go first period here in Troy. Austin Heidemann scored just after the 5-minute mark to open the scoring for RPI, but off of a turnover. The goal from Williams, Jack Williams that is, tied the score at 1. That's where we stand. Deflected off the skate of Heidemann, so Stodeker will give chase. Heidemann is able to win the race and force the puck free. Centering pass in front was looking for Dovar Tinling. Didn't connect on that one. The other way comes Northeastern. A toe drag and a beauty there from Lund to open up some space. He heads to the middle. Meanwhile, Walsh has his hands full with Laurie Surdy turned over. Backhander, that gets blocked. Kept in at the line by Borghese. Near side here is Walsh. Poked along by Ardenaz, who tried to clear. Tinling finds it. Brackett as far as center got knocked down. Heidemann keeps it moving around the defender, however, as RPI and Northeastern both begin their line changes. Walton over center and forces it from corner to corner. Surdy deflects it and keeps it moving. Finn Brown has a man in front. That's McNeil. McNeil was looking for a pass to Ciccarello, but it got knocked off of his stick before he could make the play. McNeil again to the line, one-timer. On its way through, deflected up and out of play with 2:25 to go here in the first. And I really enjoy this new career path of tech support Dan Fridgen that I was watching over to my right, helping with a, I believe an Ethernet cable, helping our friends over at Northeastern get on the radio today. That was quite impressive.
Yeah, Greg Madden making the call here for Northeastern on the road and having a little trouble with some of these outlets, and when you're plugging it in, it's tough to get back out again.
Face off won by the Engineers. It is difficult when you're trying to make changes on the fly when the cord just doesn't want to budge. Penalty coming up. It will lead to a whistle here for an interference with 2:12 to go here in period number 1. Waiting to see the official guilty party. It will go against the Huskies, and RPI will go on the power play, which is just over 2 to go in our opening period, as Michael Fisher will sit for 2.
Boy, I was surprised at that. That was a late call by the official. I think that 2 seconds had gone by before he raised his arm. I thought there was another penalty, but there was the infraction against the boards.
Well, RPI on their power play, 1 goal in 27 attempts so far this year. They scored a power play goal in their opener against the University of Maine back in mid-October, looking to find the magic touch on their man advantage as Smolinski in possession will walk it off the wall. Here is Mazzotti. He will shoot. That one whistled just high and wide. A lot of heat on that one from Mazzotti, who is playing on his strong side there off the wall. It's cleared the rest of the way down by the Huskies.
Yeah, needless to say, this is something that they've been working on over this Thanksgiving break, I would imagine.
Quick passing there from Tinling. He's got it back with a burst of speed. Tinling tried to drop back for Mazzotti. Player he was looking for wasn't there, but it's kept in by Smolinski. Saucer pass, knocked back in front, and it's cleared out of harm's way and up and into the neutral zone. Looked for a moment as everybody on the Northeastern bench was scrambling like it got in there. But instead it's cleared, and Smolinski will send lengthwise too far out of the reach of Heidemann as his pass was deflected, and Northeastern clears. Northeastern on their kill, meanwhile, 20 of 23, 87%, 11th best in the nation. Hodson had it for the moment, but it's swept out of harm's way and cleared by the Huskies. Northeastern hadn't given up a power play goal against in their first 6 games of the season, but they've ceded 1 goal to opposing power plays in each of their last 3. A good start to this kill, which is about 3/4 of the way done, and they get another clear. Surdy sends this way for Brichette, bringing up the rear, but leading Hodson along. Hodson to the point, here is Surdy. Quickly this way for Regula, Surdy again, center point. Near side wall, Brichette. Slows things down, goes cross ice Regula. He will shoot, that one gets blocked, and it's cleared all the way down. 2 seconds and 1 remaining on the penalty, and now a race for the puck, 10 seconds to go in the first. Pulled free, but it was blocked off of the skate of Regula with 5 seconds to go. Mazzotti near side wall will pin it against the boards, absorb the hit from Lund, and that will do it for our first period of play. 0-0 on the clock here at the Houston Fieldhouse. We have a game that is even at 1 goal apiece. Shots on goal 7-3 in favor of the Huskies after period number 1, but the Engineers able to get on the board first with a goal from Austin Heidemann. A turnover leads to the tying goal for Jack Williams. Dan Frischman, your thoughts on the opening 20 that we saw here in Troy?
Well, I think RPI's got to get their power play going. Just in watching it, seems like they're very deliberate. There's not a lot of movement and change in places to really, confuse the defense for Northeastern, which is easy killing for them.
Something definitely to watch as we move through. Again, these teams are playing twice here this weekend, just before we go to break again, playing today and then tomorrow afternoon as well. Another 3 o'clock face-off here on ESPN Plus. Tonight, we'll have the RPI women's hockey team as they take on Assumption, the Greyhounds in town. 7 o'clock face-off for that one. And again, make sure you join us right here on ESPN Plus. We're done with 20 minutes of play. 1-1 RPI Northeastern. We are back with second period action in a few moments, so stay with us. You're watching Engineers Hockey on ESPN Plus.
are boundary-pushing change agents. We do what it takes to make things happen together. It's our collaborative spirit that sparks creativity and pushes us to think beyond ourselves. We're scrappy and unabashedly enthusiastic about our passions and projects. We are hardwired for the havoc of change. We know it isn't easy, that theories can fail and world-changing can feel futile. But that's the calm before the brilliant storm. The breath you take before you break through. Small change comes from asking why. Changing the world comes from asking, why not? That's the question we ask everyone, from freshmen to faculty. It's the question that fuels us to find the next new. The question we ask you, why not change the world?
All proud sponsors of RPI Hockey.
It's the most historic conference in college hockey. It's a battle night in and night out. ECAC Hockey, an iconic conference home to 12 of the most prestigious universities and programs in the world, and showcasing the best student athletes in the sport. Top-notch facilities and arenas, incomparable traditions, passionate fans, alumni who go on to become elite professionals, leaders, and champions. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
Ginsburg and Griffin Law Firm, Rensselaer Dining Services, Crown Plaza, Bethesda Hotel, Recovery Sports Grill, E. Stewart Jones Hacker Murphy Law Firm, Stewart Shops, BSN Sports, Gatherers Grill, Rensselaer Honda, Pierre Farm, Repeat Business Systems, Ryan's Wake, Stanley Steamer, Correct Energy, McAddy's Pub, Handshake, Aroma Joe's, Brown's Brewing Company, and the Bone and Joint Center, all proud sponsors of RPI Hockey.
For the love of the game, the team, 4-for-2, Recovery Sportswear. At Recovery Sportswear, we always have courtside seats to exciting live sports coverage and outstanding loyalty perks. Go to our whole thing for Recovery Sportswear, serving smiles every season.
Second period about to begin from the Houston Fieldhouse here on the campus of RPI. We are back on ESPN Plus, and it is Engineers Hockey. The score after 20 minutes of play, The Engineers are tied at 1 goal apiece with the Northeastern University Huskies. The Engineers broke the ice with a goal at 5:18 of the first period from Austin Heineman, his third of the year from Dovar Tinling. But off of a turnover, Jack Williams wired one past Carson Cherepak at 14:03 to tie the game, and that is where we stand. Alongside Dan Fridge and Dan Ball with you here this afternoon, thank you so much for joining us. And Coach, you talked about the power play, certainly as something that the Engineers are looking to improve upon, maybe get some more movement 5-on-4. How about 5-on-5? What do you want to see here in this second period?
Well, I think they just got to get their forecheck going, have some offensive zone time, which will lead to some offensive opportunities.
We're underway for the middle period. Shots on goal after 20 minutes, 7-3 in favor of Northeastern. Sent from corner to corner as the Engineers go in on the forecheck. Carson Cherepak, 2 of 3 on his ledger in the first period, as the Engineers now going from left to right across your screen. Cherepak in the cage to our left, and that one's deflected just wide. Picked up by Fontaine, sent to the line, but Borghese was in on the forecheck, so he backtracked but kept in. Dorrington, one-timer blocked in front. Mazzotti tried to deflect it along, one-handed back out to the neutral zone. Puck is still rolling through center, but picked up and taken the other way by the Huskies as Fontaine sidesteps a big hit coming from Smolinski. On the other side, Cameron Whitehead was 6 of 7 on his ledger in the first period, as Cherepak will add to his total with a glove save and a whistle 49 seconds into our second period in a game that's tied at 1.
I was just watching one of the players, number 15, Williams, who was sitting on the bench, well, actually standing, and that errant stick went into Smolinski's stick, went in and slashed him right in the side of the arm.
Well, you're not currently out there for a shift, but you're always in the field of play, so to speak. You're in the metaphorical splash zone when you're in that spot. So a prime example there is Jake Lee sends it off the end wall. Burchett was going in for it, but he was tied up on his way there. Surdy has it deflected around him. Now a race for the puck. Ritzkovian heads in one-on-one against Regula, who keeps it moving, but Cam Lund was the only player there. Surdy back in his own end, feeling the pressure from 2 black sweaters of the Huskies. Taken along by Hodson, popped into the near corner as Lee will go one-on-one against Statiker. Near side wall. Looking for a passing lane there was Hodson. Didn't necessarily have one, so just flipped it low of the goal. Lee fighting for some room, as was Hodson. Knocked up the far wall. Kept in at the line by Surdy. First one there is Hodson. A little room to move out of the near side corner. A backhand pass in front. Didn't connect. Now the other way comes the speedy Williams. 1 goal looking to add to it. Knocked into the near corner. Smolinski feeling the pressure from the oncoming Lund. Keeps it moving. Burchett deflected along. Now a 3-on-2, which is led by Brackett. Finds the trailing Tinling backdoor feed in front off of the skate of Dorrington, who laid out to clear that passing lane and did so very effectively.
Yeah, good defensive play. He had Jack Agnew going to the net all alone in front on that 3-on-2.
Deflected around Smolinski by Lund as he was at the end of a shift. Outlet feed deflected by Brackett on its way in. Dorrington sends it through the wickets of Fisher, so the defender Fisher will regroup. Knocked off the far wall, a play with the skate to knock the puck down by Strom. He'll shoot off his back foot, save made by Whitehead, and knocked to the far corner. Dorrington the other way as DeMellis had it but lost it. Was hearing the footsteps from a couple of different white sweaters and lost the puck. Dorrington near side wall blocked down by Brown. Here's Ciccarello. As it knocked away from him, but Brown's there in the near corner. Second attempt gets it back to the point. Strom for Brown, will whip it on goal. Delayed penalty coming up. It's going to be against the Huskies, so RPI will get their second power play. Strom a drive and a save by Whitehead. Rebound still loose, knocked down. A whistle, a stoppage, and a penalty for a cross-check with 16:46 to go here in the second period. And we'll see RPI on the power play for the second time, and we'll see if there is some more movement and some chances for the home squad.
Yeah, that's Dorrington going to the box. Cross-check, I think, with Ciccarello in front of the net. And he'll sit for 2 minutes or less. Another opportunity here for RPI in the power play. Zadi out there, he was did real well. He was 75% the first period on the faceoffs, going 6-2.
Tinling has possession, sends it low right off the bat for Heidemann. Couple of quick passes. Now Smolinski, he shoots through a screen, was looking for a deflection from Mazzotti, didn't get it. Gagnon tried to bunt it back for Heidemann, who was waiting there for him, but it's stolen and sent the rest of the way down. The Engineers as a group were 10 of 16 at the dot in the opening 20, so you know exactly who to thank for that number. They also blocked 7 shots in the first period to the 5 that were blocked down by the defense of the Huskies. Half a minute gone by, just a little over that. On the power play here for RPI, their second of the afternoon, they're 0 for 1. Mazzotti keeps it moving for Tinling. He's got it back on the far side wall. Saucer pass finds Gagnon. To the line, Smolinski. Now Mazzotti, top of the circles. Heidemann spins and shoots, deflected. That one goes up and out of play. Good active stick on defense by Stodaker. Gets a whistle and a stoppage, a minute and 1 second into the penalty that was assessed to the defender, Jackson Dorrington.
Yeah, that was Stodaker, and of course, you've got a right-hand shot, taking that shot from the flank, so it was easier to get that puck in the shooting, stick in the shooting lane.
Changes on both sides, so now it's Ritzkovian against Lee. The former beats the latter as Walton has it taken away, but on second attempt, he'll try near side and clear successfully, so Cherpak will slow things down for his defender, Regula, with 15.5 to go in the second. Now under 44 seconds remaining on the power play. Slingshot feed was knocked down by DeMellis, who was in there forechecking. A couple of Engineers defenders converge on him, but another 15 seconds gone by after the turnover. Burchett tries the inside-out move, but it's knocked away from him and cleared again.
Yeah, tough play there, going 1-on-2 and 5-on-4.
This unit has had some struggles in their break-in and now a turnover. A breakaway for Williams, in on Cherpak and a save. He's got his own rebound, however. Knocked off the puck by Laurie Surdy. A turnover nearly leading to a shorty right at the end of the power play at the line. A shot. Cherpak knocked down as that one whistled through the crease. RPI grabs possession and will clear after a few tense moments in a game that's tied at 1.
Well, if you're ever a Northeastern guy you want on that breakaway, Williams is the guy. It looks like he out-deked himself. Cherpak didn't bite whatsoever on that first move.
Meanwhile, here comes Ciccarello. He'll try it himself. Danny Ciccarello score! Well, Ciccarello gets a chance on the breakaway, and he pots his to give the Engineers their second lead of the afternoon. It's 2-1.
Well, a great finish by Ciccarello, but an even better pass. I think it was Nick Strom that found him in behind the defense, and that was perfect right-hand shot right on the tape. Ciccarello makes no mistake to make this a 2-1 game for RPI.
What a start to the season for Danny Ciccarello. His 5th game so far this year. That's his 4th goal, and his 4th goal in a row. He's got a 4-game goal streak. The other way comes Mazzotti. Taken away from him on the defensive end by Eli Sebastian. Ciccarello, the sophomore out of Kirkland, Quebec, in the Fort McMurray Oil Barons program, sent from the line. Glove save made by Whitehead as Strom stepped in and took that shot. He gets a save just over 6 minutes in. And Ciccarello, goals in both games last weekend. In addition to a goal in the game before that, so make that 4 in a row. And you love to get that supplementary scoring. We talk a lot about Mazzotti, we've talked about Jake Lee in the past, but having Danny Ciccarello, your 4th line center in this one, getting a chance as we look at the replay and the celebration. You love to know that lines 3 and 4 can be able to contribute in these games.
Oh, there's no question about that. I don't think that was Strom that made that play. Sorry, it was Brad McNeil,
46.
Walton, an outlet feed. It's deflected the rest of the way in deep by DeMellis, and the Huskies will go in on the forecheck, but quickly the other way comes RPI. Taken along by Evans as two Huskies crash into each other, as Evans was kind of able to spin out of the way of that one. Turned over in front of the Huskies bench, only for the time being, however, as Walton's clearing was blocked. DeMellis at center, gained the line, or so it appears. Was able to clear. Smolinski, a nice play to evade some pressure. Burchett an outlet feed. Jake Lee forces it in on the backhand. Dorrington able to take it away from him. Ritzkovian gets it out as far as center, was met by Jack Brackett. That is the other of the two Ritzkovian brothers, Dylan, who is a freshman this year. His brother Justin is a junior and the captain. Dylan with 2 points in 7 games, a goal and an assist coming into this one. Turned over at center, here is Dorrington. The other way come the Huskies, snapped on goal, deflected on its way through as Lund pulled the trigger. He's got his own rebound, however. A feed to the middle gets deflected out to the neutral zone. Race for the puck that is won by Hayes around Heidemann. Kept along as Lund steps in. Sharp angle try. That one would not go. Near side, Ritzkovian drops for Hayes. Knocked into the near corner as Lund is met by Regula. Far side wall, Brackett tried to clear, kept in by Campbell at the line. The Engineers will try the other direction. They do so effectively. Here's Ciccarello, popped it through the legs of Hayes as Hayes was stepping in to make a play. There went Finn Brown after catching an edge off the bench. Meanwhile, the trailer is Campbell, swept on goal, save. He's got his own rebound, a third chance there. Borghese, that one's blocked. He's got it again. Borghese shoots off the glove of Cherpak. Northeastern swarming in their offensive end with just over 11 and a half to go, and that one's deflected back out to the neutral zone. The speedy Finn Brown into the far corner, looking to work around Hayes. Ended up losing the puck, but McNeil finds it off the end boards. Picked up at the line, Strom, looking for a deflection, got one, but it didn't help his cause. Near side corner, McNeil, spinning away from pressure, forced out in front, still loose there as Brown was looking to whack at it. It was cleared into the near corner, and the Huskies will scoop it back out to center. A race for the puck as Strom was knocked down to one skate, but made a really nice play around the pressuring player to not only make the play, but clear the zone. Stoddicker and Beaton go along the end wall. Beaton is spilled down. Gagnon in there helping as well. Shots on goal right now, 11-8 in favor of the Huskies. The Engineers holding a 2-1 lead on a goal from in alone by Danny Ciccarello. Forced along there by Norcross. He was met by his fellow number 19, Mazzotti, at the line. The play is whistled down, and that is offside with 10:33 to go in the second period, and RPI holding a 2-1 lead here at home.
RPI seems to be looking for those long bomb passes here in the second period. Maybe something they saw in the first that maybe Northeastern defense were pressing a little bit too much, but they just missed again on the second try there.
An interesting note, of course, is then you get the far side winger that will maybe get a step around your far side defender if they're not paying attention, and a good way to generate some offense. That's exactly how they were able to find Danny Ciccarello kind of in between those defenders, like you mentioned. So certainly a note to watch. Here is DeMellis protecting on his backhand, but taken away from him. Hodson to the line, but Lee was unable to corral, so it's kept in and sent back in deep. Burchett tried to force it around Chopani. Turned over. Backdoor feed in front, gets deflected on its way through. Dorrington steps in, snaps one on goal. That Lee will block up and out of play. With 9:52 to go here in the second period, RPI grabbed the lead in the first. They've grabbed it back here in the second on a goal from Danny Ciccarello. The Engineers out to a 2-1 lead. Back with more after this. You're watching Engineers Hockey on ESPN+.
Your support of Let's Go Red ensures that current and future generations of student athletes continue to receive the opportunity to balance the rigors of academics with collegiate athletics. Learn more about how you can help RPI men's hockey directly at giving.rpi.edu/Let's Go Red. Flowers by Pisha, fan of the game, is sitting in section 6, row G, seat number 6. Flowers by Pisha, a proud sponsor of RPI Hockey.
our family to yours. Have a wonderful holiday and a happy New Year.
.52 to go, second period here in Troy. 2-1 RPI leading Northeastern on ESPN Plus after the faceoff was won by the Huskies. A nice play by Jack Brackett, popped the puck, free shot by Heidemann, and a blocker save made by Whitehead. The other way comes Williams, spinning away from pressure. Backhand saucer feed was a little too high for the defender that was waiting there, Dorrington, so they'll regroup once again with Lund back helping. Forced into the near corner, Lund in there on the forecheck, tried to one-hand it along. Ritzkovian spinning away from pressure. He's still feeling it from Laurie Surdy. Williams tried to center a pass. That one got blocked. Here is Lund. Centered it again, was looking for Ritzkovian, blocked again. Surdy a good hit along the far wall. Here is Brackett, absorbs the hit to keep it moving, but the pass got deflected to the line. Borghese shoots, save made, rebound, score. Well, the defender, Vinny Borghese, took the first shot, and it was a smart one. Cherepak kicked out the rebound, and Jack Williams has his second. We're tied again.
Well, that was Borghese over on the far side. That was the second time he tried to go down the wall and was cut off by the RPI defender, but on that situation, he took a quick shot off the pad. Cherepak giving up the rebound right to Williams, and he's got a second goal of the game. Or no, that was Walsh. No, Williams.
11:02, the time of the goal that ties the game once again. So the teams have alternated goals, 4 in total, 2 apiece. We're even at 2. Here is Mazzotti. Top of the circle is looking for a trailer as Beaton was following the play. Pass escaped him, so Strom, who was the last line of defense, was able to corral and send it back in deep. Mazzotti steals. Wheeling there was Gagnon, knocked away from him. Beaton goes headlong along the top of the offensive blue line. Had it, but lost it. Puck is sent in deep. Cherepak will slow it down, but it's taken away from him by Campbell. Campbell centers off of the skate of Strom. Ended up being a chance that missed, and not by much. To the line again, here is Walton, fighting to get around McNeil. Back to the point for Dorrington. That pass is picked off. The other way comes RPI, led by Gagnon. Gagnon forces a pass to the middle off the skate of Dorrington, who evades the hit from McNeil. Now here comes Northeastern. Left for the trailing DeMellis, looking for a pass down low, deflected on Cherepak. He makes the save. Rebound still loose. Along the far post, poked at it by DeMellis. Still free now along the end of the boards in the back of the net. Dorrington keeps it moving, but a rolling puck jumps over the stick of Borghese, and after all that battling, the puck ends up getting knocked back to the neutral zone, and Northeastern will regroup. Dorrington this way for Borghese, who gains the line and sends it from corner to corner with just over 7 minutes to go in the second. Scooped up by Jacob Lee, who gains the center line, flips it around Fisher. The first one there, Ciccarello. Kept in at the line by Agnew, who wires one past the near post. Surdy reverses for Finn Brown, the winger who was covering. He will step his way in, was looking for Ciccarello, missed him. Surdy fakes. Takes a deflection off of a stick and in deep.
It almost looked like Finn Brown had a lane to go to the net with the puck right there, as opposed to giving it up to Ciccarello.
I would tend to agree, as Ciccarello was there, but not necessarily as open as you would hope for on that pass. As Stodiker had it, forced it off the far wall, but Hodson was back there defending. A pass with a player in his face, misses a defender. Sebastian keeps it in on the near side. Eli Sebastian sweeps it along. Battle along the end boards in front of the Engineers logo that sits along the far side glass here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Near corner, Surdy is able to knock that one loose. Agnew battling. He's taken down as Norcross was in there forechecking. Now Lee battling with Norcross and giving him a couple of love taps in the far corner.
Yeah, you can see the hearts emojis flying off that stick.
Shot from the line by Stodiker as Cherpak did not see that one coming. It didn't miss by a lot. Here is Walton. A quick move to get back to his forehand. Activating along the far wall, now all the way into the corner. He was ridden off the puck by Brichette the entire way. Stepping through the middle there was Hodson. He found Lee. Lee was looking to go Brichette, then Hodson found neither. He had the puck back only momentarily, however. Here is Ritzkovian, steps his way around Ardenaz in front, and he drew a penalty on the play. That'll be against the Engineers as Whitehead will sprint his way to the bench. The speed of the freshman, Dylan Ritzkovian, will lead to Northeastern's first power play, assuming they don't score, as we're now 6-on-5. Here is Lund trying to make his way around the defense. It's picked up by Strom. The call will be a hook. And with 4:44 to go in the second period, we'll see the Northeastern power play for the first time and our third power play overall.
Yeah, they're clicking at 22%, so I think that's been one of the strong points of the season so far for this Northeastern group, is their man advantage and their ability to capitalize.
Number 11, Nick Ardenaz. He receives students for hooking. Time of that penalty, 15 minutes, 16 seconds. 11 of RPI, Ardenaz, on the hook at 15-16.
Northeastern has scored a power play tally in 4 of their 9 games. They've scored multiple power play goals in 2 of those, accounting for the 6 that you see on their ledger this season. Nick Ardenaz, the guilty party. The call is a hook. The time 15-16 here in our second period. The power play for Northeastern pulled free. Here is Walton at the point. Ritzkovian sends across. Walton one-timer. He scores! An absolute laser from the point from Pito Walton on the power play. And the Huskies have their first lead of the afternoon. It's 3-2.
Well, just great setup by, first of all, you had Ritzkovian and over to Fontaine, Gunnar Wolf Fontaine, and a one-timer by Walton. I don't think Cherpak saw that at all. He had some traffic in front of the net, just over the blocker, looks like, and Northeastern's got their first lead of the game.
Well, 2 names that ECAC hockey fans know well end up factoring in on that one, as Pito Walton, the transfer out of Princeton, scores his 3rd goal of the season, I should say. But the screen coming from Alex Campbell, who is the transfer from Clarkson, who, as you mentioned there, Fridge, kind of took the eyes away from Carson Cherpak on that one on its way through. So a power play strike for Northeastern on their first chance of the afternoon. They have the 3-2 lead. This one's deflected up and out of play. I tell you, it's hard to get a puck up here into the broadcast booth. That one might have had the geometry if it was a couple of feet to what would be our left, but it was collected by a young fan nonetheless, and a stoppage with 3:53 to go in the second.
Which leads me to a thought process. Do we catch it or do we duck?
Ooh, good question. That one had a little bit of steam on it. So
yeah, I know.
I'd like to imagine the ex-baseball player in me would wisely or otherwise try to go for it and maybe come away with a black eye or something for my troubles. Here is Brichette stepping in. He shoots, saved by Whitehead. He had the rebound, knocked free. Hodson to the line. He's got it again along the near wall. To the point, Regula sweeps it on goal. Save made, Brichette tried to tuck it in past the near post and could not. He's got it again along the far wall, however, trying to sneak away from traffic. Maintains possession, protecting the puck. There is Laurie Surdy. Sends it on goal, deflected on its way through. Missed the far side post. Scooped up and back into the neutral zone by Ritzkovian after the Engineers with a couple of good chances.
Yeah, nice flourish of opportunities there on the offense for RPI, and Brichette with 2 of them.
Regula quickly ahead, finds Mazzotti. Mazzotti drops for the trailing Gagnon. His shot got blocked on its way through. Mazzotti reverses, nobody home, however, as Stodiker was the first one there. Gagnon did his darndest to keep it moving, but a stoppage for a high stick with 2:49 to go in our second period.
Thought you could high stick it to yourself. You must be thinking lacrosse.
I don't know. I don't know the specifics on that one.
No, it's a high stick.
Mazzotti and Ritzkovian on the draw to the left of Whitehead. Won by Ritzkovian off the skate of Walton. Forced off the glass and into the neutral zone. Smolinski the smart play to use the glove to knock it down. Pito Walton has had some success in his career against the Engineers. Scored a goal back in a game in February of 2022 against this group and had a 3-assist effort the first time those two teams played last season back in December of 22 as that shot gets deflected up and above the crossbar. Smolinski, a quick play as he was essentially waiting for Alex Campbell to make a move, and after he did, he cleared it. Whitehead will take the rebound, an active one off of the end wall, and take a whistle instead of playing the puck with 2:05 to go in the second. So for Pito Walton, in the 6 games that he played with Princeton, 4 points, had another one in his first game against RPI as a member of the Huskies, and it's an important one here in our middle period.
So he welcomes the competition anytime it's RPI, obviously. It's funny how some players just, get extra motivated for certain teams.
You have those teams where something clicks, be it a scheme, be it the arena, be it the pregame lunch you get on the way to the arena. I don't know, but sometimes something works as Engineers have it off the draw. Rolling puck missed along the far post. Here is McNeil. Strom at the line, a couple of nice moves to open up some space. Backhand feed for Ardenaz, who is along the near side wall right by the hash marks. Strom. Low of the goal, here is Finn Brown. Brown had it taken away from him, but Ciccarello was there to keep it moving. Now it's McNeil who loses a defender. He was able to get Borghese to fall as he was trying to keep up with him. Knocked in front by McNeil, taken away by Dorrington. Will alleviate some pressure and find Borghese with under 90 seconds to go here in our second period. Don't forget, these two teams will battle again tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock face-off here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Pulled free, sent on goal. Cherepak the save, as the shot didn't have quite as much steam on it as Matt Chopani was hoping for. Walton steps in from his place on the point. Into the far corner he goes, kept the forecheck moving.
Final minute of play in the period.
DeMellis didn't realize that Heidemann was right there, so the two run headlong into each other. Brackett is able to clear. He was there to knock down that pass as well. And we get another taste of the Mr. Beast Burger minute of the game, our second so far this season. RPI, if you're keeping track at home, is 0 for 1, scoring and giving the fans here a free Mr. Beast Burger. This is the new adaptation of the Moe's Minute that we saw last year, for those who are fans of that particular promotion, as Williams, seeing Surdy, has the puck roll off of his stick, and Cherepak will say thank you and cover up with 25.9 seconds to go here in the second.
Yeah, and the Moe's Minute last year, I remember when that must have been against Princeton, I think. Might have been where RPI scored, and obviously we have a new sponsor for that minute.
It always proves to be, well, it's always the most electric minute of the first 40 minutes of play. And then you get into the third, and obviously things can kind of go nuts, but it's always been a good one. And you're right, because it took RPI almost to that, because that was the last weekend of play. It took them right up to the last weekend of regular season play to be able to score one. And you just feel the intensity from the taco lovers here at the Houston Fieldhouse. So hopefully Mr. Beastburger gets an even better response and more goals. One-timer, as Cherepak will hang on to that one. Fontaine didn't get a ton on the shot. He checks the stick to make sure it is not broken. Whistle and a face-off. They'll do it again with under 20 to go. Good
save by Cherepak. Sometimes those flutterers could handcuff the goaltender, but he stayed right with it.
Rosati and Ritzkovian on the draw again, and Justin Ritzkovian wins that one cleanly. Borghese a drive. That one got blocked as Gagnon got in the way. Northeastern finds it with 10 to go. Shot from a sharp angle. That one didn't miss by much. Beaton sweeps it back below the goal. Surdy keeps it moving near sidewall. Gagnon will clear with 2 seconds and 1, and that will do it for our second period of play here at the Houston Fieldhouse. The score, the visiting Northeastern University Huskies leading the Engineers by a score of 3-2. RPI got the first goal of the middle stanza, but 2 straight goals by the Huskies both tied the game and gave them their first lead of the afternoon. And Dan Friggen, your thoughts on what we've seen through 40 minutes so far?
Well, so far, 5-on-5, it's a 2-2 hockey game. The difference in this one so far is the power play, which Northeastern happened to capitalize on. They've got a 3-2 lead.
Shots on goal through 40 minutes, 19-12 in favor of Northeastern. The visitors will look to defend their lead in the final 20 minutes. We take a look at the highlights, beginning with the goal from Williams that saw the game tied at 1 goal apiece back in our first period. So Williams off of a turnover after the opening goal from Heidemann. That was the one that tied the game back in the first, as you see the remainder of the celebration on the goal from Williams, who came in with 1 goal. That was his second. Then Danny Ciccarello, after a breakaway from Northeastern, went by the wayside. He found a way to score his own.
Very similar goal to the first one we saw by Williams, only from a different angle, but it was top shelf.
Ciccarello, his 4th goal in his 5th game, extends his personal goal streak to 4 straight games. That, at the time, gave RPI their second lead, but after a nice shot from the point from Borghese, it was Williams again, the slam dunk, and that tied the game once more.
Yes, I mean, Williams right there on the doorstep, playing it off the pad. Smart play by Borghese just to get that puck on goal, and I'm sure he was aiming for that far pad.
The last goal there from Pito Walton on the power play that gave Northeastern their first lead, and that is where we stand after 40 minutes of play. Again, 3-2, Northeastern leading RPI. We'll be back with third period action in just a few moments, so stay with us. You're watching Engineers Hockey on ESPN+.
Okay, let's pick on there. Today's Romeo Stricker Puck Competition, puck number 75. Congratulations. And thank you to Romeo's for sponsoring today's Stricker Puck Competition. Hey, if you're looking to take that cruise or all-inclusive vacation or lifetime, Yankee Trails, Capital Region's premier travel agency and motor coach tour provider, it's a place you should call. Specializing in group travel, Yankee Trails is also available for all your group transportation needs. For more information, call 518-286-2400 or visit online at yankeetrails.com. Assumption University tonight, right here at Houston Fieldhouse. Stay around, support your RPI women's hockey team. The puck drops at 7 p.m. RPI versus Assumption.
Hi, my name is James at Rental Honda, and this is my buddy Bo. Looking to sell your car or truck? We want to buy it. Are you looking for a great used car? We have a huge selection. That's why Rental Honda has been your Honda dealer for 44 years.
Two periods down and one to go here at the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of RPI. We are back here on ESPN Plus, and this is Engineers Hockey. The score after 40 minutes of play, the visiting Northeastern University Huskies leading the Engineers by a score of 2-1. RPI scored the first goal in the first as well as the first goal in the second. But Northeastern had an answer in the first to tie the game. They had two consecutive answers in the second period that tied the game and gave them their first lead as we get ready for our third period of play. Alongside Dan Fridgen, Dan Ball with you here this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. And Dan Fridgen, the Engineers have some work to do, looking to get on the board and tie the game. They're playing from behind for the first time today. What's the answer in your mind for them to get back and get this game even?
Well, I think that, once they go back on the power play, hopefully that'll happen this period. They'll be able to get a power play goal and tie this thing up, but it's been pretty evenly played, 5-on-5.
Campbell with an early chance that is swallowed up by Chairpack, and you're right, it has been pretty even throughout. The shots on goal through 40 minutes of play in this one, 19-12 in favor of Northeastern after it was 12-9 in favor of the Huskies in the middle 20 minutes. Carson Chairpack 16 of 19 on his day. Cameron White had 10 of 12. Chairpack in the net to our right. Engineers going from right to left as Borghese pulls it off the near side wall and shoots. Got the screen he was looking for from Ritzkovian, but ended up missing the net. Kept in. Campbell, Ritzkovian, one more. He was looking this way for a backdoor feed for Fontaine and couldn't do it. Campbell was looking for the stuff try on the near post, but Nick Strom had the answer for that one.
Ritzkovian and Mazzotti was in front of the net on that one. I thought Ritzkovian should have shot that puck as well.
He's got it back at center. It's knocked away from Fontaine, but a shot from Campbell, save made. Chairpack the answer with the glove, or the blocker I should say, as Northeastern was beginning a line change. Campbell played in 3 games against the Engineers during his time with the Golden Knights. He had 4 points in those 3 games. They all came in the same one, as he had a goal and 3 assists. Shot from the point from Surdy on its way through. Goal and 3 assists back on January 16th of 2022. So the stat line still looks pretty good, even though it was just one of the 3 games, as Northeastern has iced the puck. Just under a minute and a half into our 3rd period. Northeastern leading 3-2.
Well, I think RPI just got to concentrate on doing the little things here. When Ross gets some shots on goal, traffic in front of Whitehead, take his eyes away and get the forecheck going, as I mentioned in the first. Which I'm sure will lead to some opportunities.
This would be the first game, if the Huskies can hang on, that they will have won when the opponent scored the first goal. So far they're 0 for 6 when that is the case. 2-1 when they score the first tally, as here comes Brackett. Brackett in front for Tivling, one more! He was looking backdoor for Heidemann, but it would not go. Good chance in transition as Surdy picks it up off the near wall. Spinning away from pressure, now flipping a puck in deep. Knocked down by Heidemann, one-handed along by Walton. Far side corner, Brackett had it but lost it, now in a battle for the puck, as Williams was in there helping. Surdy activates from the point, trying to kick that one free. Shot on net from a sharp angle. Brackett looking for a deflection on its way through. That one swallowed up by Whitehead, who will take a whistle with 17:47 to go here in the 3rd.
Well, on that last rush, Jack Williams had let his man go. That just happened to be Heidemann, Austin Heidemann, but the pass just didn't connect. Good scoring opportunity. Heidemann going to the net hard.
Tie up off the draw, Northeastern in possession. Reverse back for Jackson Dorrington. Off the far side wall, it jumps over the stick of Ciccarello, flipped in and out of the catching glove of Cherpak, who was forced to keep the puck moving. Now a scramble on the far side wall, sent towards the net, deflected on its way through, as Eli Sebastian tried to get that shot off quickly. Bouncing puck hops over 3 sticks in a row. That was Fisher, Ciccarello, and Dorrington in that order, before Whitehead will slow it down and take a whistle. 7:20 to go as we get the announcement over the PA here at the Houston Fieldhouse, reminding folks that these 2 teams will battle again tomorrow afternoon. A 3 o'clock face-off for that. RPI also beginning a 4-game homestand as their lone foray back into ECAC hockey play before the new year. They'll host Quinnipiac in Princeton December 1st and 2nd, respectively. 7 o'clock face-off for those. If you can't join us here in the building at the Houston Fieldhouse, rpiathletics.com for tickets and more information. Near side corner, Regula keeps it moving. Here is Beaton. Caught Mazzotti looking over the wrong shoulder, allowing Nolan Hayes to corral. Ritzkovian through the middle. Fontaine, he's got it back again. Here's Fontaine, and a kick save made by Cherpak. The rebound sprung to the far corner. To the line, Hayes. Quickly for Borghese, shooting off of his back foot. Had some good steam on it. Kick save made by Cherpak. Long rebound. Near side, Ritzkovian. Was looking cross ice for Borghese, but it's deflected by Regula, and the pass explodes on the Huskies defender, allowing the Engineers a bit of relief from their own defensive end.
Yeah, that puck just jumped over his stick right at the last second and is going to make the play.
Icing will be called here with 6:14 to go, so after those games at home to complete the 4-game homestands, a quick trip out to New Hampshire to battle one of the hotter teams in Hockey East. The New Hampshire Wildcats, who currently sit in a tie for 3rd place in Hockey East with Boston College through 6 games coming into play today. That game on December 9th, the 4 o'clock face-off. As we move our way through more non-conference play for this Engineers group here in the month of December, another face-off, another icing, and another face-off with 16:07 to go in the 3rd. RPI looking to do something for the first time this season, which is win when they were trailing after 2 periods, 0-4, and games where that has been the case. Face off to the left of Whitehead. DeMellis and Lee for the draw. It was one in the direction of the Engineers, but Northeastern was the first one to grab possession, allowing Norcross to send it in deep. Agnew up the far side wall, deflected by Hodson, who loses his balance and therefore loses the race for icing. A lot of legs going a lot of places there for Tyler Hodson, the freshman out of Stratford, Ontario. But after all is said and done, another icing, this time on the home squad with 15:51 to go.
Well, Tyler should be facing the puck as you're coming up the boards. That way he probably would have had that, and RPI wouldn't have taken the icing. But he was waiting for it with his back to it, so he didn't really know when it was coming. He just knew it was coming. And I went right by him.
Lee wins the draw. The other way comes RPI. Here is Brichette finding Lee, but the pass gets deflected by Walton before it got there. Nice play on defense by Pito Walton, whom you often notice for his offense, but that's a very good defensive play. Stoddicker for Norcross and back, but the pass was behind him, swept in deep by Hodson, who was the player back there back checking. One-handed along by Walton as DeMellis was the first one into the corner. Brichette taken down, penalty upcoming. It will be on the hit that Brichette absorbed. A cross-check will be the call. 4:44 the time here in our third period, and RPI, like you mentioned, Dan Fridgen, a critical power play here in the third, trailing by a goal.
Well, you're right, cross-checking is the call on that one. Of course, the last one from behind was an interference, so I was waiting for that cross-check motion from the official, but a big, as you say, big point of the game here for RPI. They got to get this power play going.
Face-off controlled by the Engineers. Smolinski for Gagnon. RPI 0 for 2 on their power play so far. This unit has gotten the lion's share of chances. The others had a bit more trouble gaining the line. Here is Gagnon, shooting save made by Whitehead. Rebound poked free by Heidemann. Rolling puck is cleared from the tops of the circles the rest of the way down by Williams.
Power play for the Engineers.
RPI's power play now 1 of 29 so far this season. Scored in their opener, haven't scored since, looking to change that here. Rebound picked up by Tinling after it took an active bounce off the end wall. Near side Mazzotti. Pass finds Tinling. Smolinski at the line activates. Dobar Tinling, he shoots through a screen high and wide. Gagnon. Smolinski walks his way from right to left. Gagnon, a pass goes low. Mazzotti protecting from Walton. Sutter Mazzotti. Pass goes low for Gagnon as the two trade places once more. Over a minute gone by on the power play so far. Smolinski. Near side Tinling. Quickly Gagnon. Smolinski again. Backdoor feed looking Tinling. Backdoor one more. Was looking for Mazzotti. Didn't connect on that one. Gagnon, he will shoot and score! Jake Gagnon from the tops of the circle snaps that one home. That's a power play goal when the Engineers needed it most. And we're even at 3.
Well, that's exactly what the Engineers needed on this power play to get it going. Gagnon did not waste any time releasing that puck. And it just beat the goaltender Whitehead to the low glove side. He caught a piece of it with his pad, but not enough to keep it out. Gagnon has tied this hockey game up.
Jake Gagnon, goal number 4 on the season for the senior out of Pointe Claire, Quebec. Well, the Engineers were doing exactly what you were looking for there, Dan Fridgen. They were moving around with possession of the puck and without it. And though it ended up being a bit of a broken play, as you don't necessarily game plan it for Jake Gagnon to be in that spot, he was there ready to shoot, and after good puck movement, they cash in second power play goal of the season for the Red. And we are back even for the third time today.
Yeah, they did a great job rotating around the top, and then right before that.
For the trailer, and that shot gets blocked as Ritzkovian pulled the trigger. Two engineers collide. Pass in front was looking for Williams. Cherpak makes the save, and he's got that rebound as well. 13:15 to go here in our third period. And you're absolutely right. Good work there to move the puck around, find the open man, and eventually you get what you're looking for, that player without a defender in front of him. That was Gagnon.
Definitely, and like I was going to say, right before that, Mazzotti had an opportunity to just tap it home. And just 2 seconds ago, that was a great defensive play by Surdy.
Power play goal, 6 minutes, 7 seconds.
So Smolinski and Tinling collect the assists. Second assist of the day for Dovar Tinling, and the all-important first point of the season for Max Smolinski, a player you really want to get fired up heading into conference play. So he ends up getting the primary on the power play goal from Gagnon, his first such goal this season. Had a shorthanded tally. He's up to 4, as is Ciccarello, who scored the second goal of the game. Austin Heidemann with 3. He scored the first. Here is Ritkovian shooting, deflected up and out of play and into the presidential suite. And that's where a fan can celebrate
Winning number
with a new souvenir with 12:44 to go in the third.
I have to say, in all the games we've done here, I've never seen one go up into the presidential suite.
With the, you want to talk about angles there, Dan Fridgen, with the netting that they have behind the net, that is a nearly impossible angle that you have to take to be able to land it up in that box. Done so successfully, and the math is the friend of Dr. Marty Schmidt and family and friends. Watching from the end here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Face-off controlled by Northeastern. Fisher forces it in deep. Walsh feeling the pressure from Smolinski, ends up losing the puck. Near side corner, Agnew. Lee this way for Hodson, but he was unable to at least deflect it on its way through, so an icing and a face-off with 12:27 to go in the third period. Shots on goal right now, 26-17 in favor of Northeastern, but the score, what matters here in this one, a game that is tied at 3. So a quick note and a thank you to the folks at RPI TV, and specifically Joseph Bowers, who is producing this game from home right now. So we have a bunch of fantastic work-study workers here at RPI who are helping with our cameras here on the broadcast today, but our guy Joseph Bowers is producing this one from at home. Dan Fridgen and I have been left in charge of our microphones, which is a dangerous game to play with the two of us, but successful so far. Here is Burchett stepping in, a quick move to open up some space, but he lost the puck. So a huge thank you to our friends at RPI TV who get us on the air every game. This one was a bit of a special circumstance on the Thanksgiving break for the students here on campus, but they're some of the best and they get the job done, and they got it done again here today. So with that being said, play has continued this entire time. 11:40 to go, third period. To the line, Agnew one-timer blocked on its way through. Here's Smolinski, who drags his way around one. Was on the receiving end of that one from Dovar Tinling, but that one got deflected on its way back to him. Borghese gains the center line and sends a puck in deep as Northeastern begins full sail changes. And to answer the question that I'm sure everybody had during that last little soliloquy, no, I don't understand how he's doing it. I'm very impressed by it as well. Make sure you go subscribe to RPI TV on YouTube if you haven't already. You can get replays of broadcasts like these and highlights, and then you get all of the original programming from RPI Athletics and beyond. Great place to stay up to date on the Engineers and everything going on here on campus in Troy. As gaining the line and sending it the rest of the way in was Sebastian. Eli Sebastian in possession, had it but lost it. Up the far side wall, Brackett pokes it free. Heidemann a backhand saucer finds Mazzotti. Ardenaz heading in front. Ardenaz tried to pop it back behind him to find a trailer, but could not. The other way come the Huskies. Led by Sebastian, who tried to cut in front and was hit on his way through as Regula lowered the boom.
I just have a visual of Joe sitting in a Star Trek type room.
Turned over, Ritzkovian couldn't get the shot away, and then he got cranked as well. Regula having a physical shift, allowing the Engineers to break out. Here is Mazzotti with speed. He'll shoot, tried to go back against the grain. That one got blocked on its way through. Gagnon, sharp angle shot, save, and the rebound would not go as Mazzotti went crashing in to try to backhand it around Whitehead. And that 6'6" had all the reach possible to get it done, but Whitehead said no, and we remain tied.
That's a great save because I thought he had him with that reach.
Surdy had that one jump over his stick as he was back there defending. Now I will not be able to shake that Bridge of the Enterprise type visual that you've given me there, Dan Fridgen. And I like it. I think it's a better way to, I think it's the best way to picture it, is that one's icing against RPI. 9:15 to go, third period here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Game is tied at 3 goals apiece as we click towards the final few moments of regulation.
And it's a good thing this is a good hockey game. Otherwise, I'd say, beam me up, Joe.
But
Yeah,
I was waiting. I knew there was one more. I knew the call and response that I normally get from you. I knew there was one more joke coming, and it was a beauty, as you are, as it sent off the far side glass. This one wobbling its way down, another icing. Takes a couple more seconds off the clock, as Dan Fridgen mentioned earlier on in the broadcast. A lot of Hockey East and ECAC hockey played today, namely UConn beating Dartmouth 5-0 now at the XL Center. As would you call that an unforced error there?
Yeah, that was a pirouette that went bad for Dorrington.
Dorrington in the corner, met there by Lee. Lee forces it to the line. Agnew will step in, spinning away from traffic on his backhand. A nice move to open up space. Here's Agnew shooting. Whitehead the save. The rebound rolls wide. Some physicality there in front as Smolinski will just elect to play it offside. With 8:42 to go here in the third period. And the faceoff will come back into the Northeastern offensive end.
Yes, as that was an intentional offside.
Well, but the Engineers will get the TV timeout that possibly Smolinski was looking for. 8:42 to go, third period. 3-3, RPI and Northeastern. Dan Fridgen will find the puck under Puckman's helmet, and we'll be back with more after this. It is Engineers Hockey, and this is ESPN Plus.
He sweeps it out to Riley. Riley finds Bear. Bear to Jerry. Incredible. These Engineers, I tell you.
I'm Dan Ball. Thank you so much for joining us. Smolinski will flip it back out to the neutral zone. Sent back in with power by Vinny Borghese, who was waiting right at center.
Joe did send us a picture.
Yes.
And his new nickname is Captain Kirk.
Tinling shot in and out of the glove of Whitehead. If you told me the picture we got from our guy Joseph Bowers was a picture on set of the new Star Trek reboot, everyone would believe you. As Hayes steps in, that shot gets blocked, still loose in front. Cherpak was going to knock it down with the glove. Instead, it's cleared. So Borghese will head back and grab it. RPI in the midst of a line change got a bit caught up on the way. allowing Northeastern to break in. Pulled free by Chopani. To the line here is Walton. Top of the circles, a couple of moves. Walton wheeling his way around the offensive end. Shot from the point from Stodeker, played with a high stick, so RPI will get a moment of peace. Turned over right by the blue line as Ritzkovian stepped in but has it knocked away. Long outlet feed there from Gagnon, didn't connect with Mazzotti. Gagnon again on his backhand, forces it from line to line. Beaton will step in. John Beaton centers. Here's Mazzotti in front, and Whitehead equal to the task again as Sutter Mazzotti tried to go from backhand to forehand, bunted down. On its way to Carson Cherepak, who will hang on. So quickly from zone to zone it goes before a whistle, but Sutter Mazzotti, another chance, and man, Cameron Whitehead has been equal to him every single time.
Well, it just looks like he's got him read. He just goes down and spreads those legs and pads out, and Mazzotti's going for the wraparound. That's the second time, only this time it was on his forehand. The last time he tried to do it on his backhand. And I was just looking at Mazzotti as he was going off, looking at the far end, going, how am I going to solve this guy?
Well, the more times it happens, the louder that thought rings between your ears as Hodson steps in near side corner, racing around Dorrington. Grabs the puck, left it for the oncoming Regula, who steps in. Here is Lee, dropping for Regula. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, I was just going to say, for Mazzotti, the next time it should be forehand, backhand between the 5-hole.
Ooh, I like that one. Goodness, if we ever got to a shootout situation, then that's exactly what you'd be going for, as puck jumps over the stick of Dorrington, sent from the near side wall by Regula. That one whistled wide. Surdy looking for a deflection from the bumper Brichette. Got one, but didn't go in the direction they were looking for. Campbell trying to fight around Brichette. He has it taken away. Ryan Brichette, the graduate transfer out of Montreal and UMass Lowell. He had an assist against this Northeastern team as part of his final game as a member of the Riverhawks. That came back in March of this year before transferring here to Troy. Tinling taken down, no call. Tinling wheels one in front. Whitehead the save. Rebound for Strom. Whitehead another save. A third chance. Shooting. Save Whitehead again. 3 saves in a row, and Northeastern clears all the way down. A race between Ritzkovian and Ardenaz that is won by the latter. That is icing. And as the game has gone on, the freshman netminder Cameron Whitehead has gotten better and better.
Well, he's given up some rebounds, but the defense for Northeastern are doing a good job of just staying, maintaining composure, and RPI just can't capitalize on that second shot.
RPI with the shot advantage here in the third period, 11-7. They're now trailing the game by just 3 total. Heidemann nearly had it knocked away from him by Ritzkovian, but he was able to keep it in. Don't forget, 7 o'clock tonight, RPI women taking on Assumption. We'll have it for you here on ESPN+, and then we'll have the second half of this 2-game series between these two teams tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock. So put the football on mute and join us if you can't be here in the building. Here is Brackett, top of the circle, shooting, tried to drag one and open up a little space. It's deflected up and out of play. With 5:22 to go in the third, Jack Brackett having a very strong start to his season with 6 points in 8 games. Points in 4 of his last 5, I should say, with 6 points over that span. He had 3 points 2 weekends ago when RPI last played. They were on the road against Clarkson and St. Lawrence. Mentioned those results, beating Clarkson 4-2 and dropping a game 6-3 to St. Lawrence. RPI did have the lead in that one, 3-0 after the first period, but the skating Saints came storming back. Low of the goal is DeMellis and Agnew lock up. Neither grabs possession. Walton forces it in deep. Ciccarello back helping with Smolinski. Puck takes the deflection in on Cherepak. Still loose. Swept in front by Walsh. And that one would not go. Puck stays in. Looked for a moment like it might hit off the netting. One-timer from the point by Walton. Wheeling and shooting. Kick save made by Cherepak. On the chant from Chopani in front.
I'm not so sure that Finn Brown did get a piece of that block.
Backdoor feed and a one-handed chance in front. Cherepak equal to the chance from DeMellis, who's in possession in the near side corner with under 4.5 to go. Walton will fake. One-timer from the point. Cherpak the save, and the rebound is taken the other way by RPI. 3-on-2, looking for the trailer beaten. There was Gagnon.
They
knocked
were
into the corner.
Sorry, they were a little flat there. They had 3 forwards across. Somebody should have dropped back to give that rush a little depth.
It looked as though, and to your point there, Beaton was just starting to do it right as he made the pass. Here is Laurie Surdy from the line, deflected by Mazzotti on its way through. Here's Sutter Mazzotti in the far corner. Cuts right to the front. Mazzotti will try it again, but it's stripped away from him. The other way comes the speedy Campbell. Campbell with a burst of speed. 3 white sweaters there in front of him as Northeastern was in the midst of a line change to the trailing Dorrington. That shot knocked away into the far corner. 3.5 to go, third period. Borghese this way for Dorrington. Goes from corner to corner as the puck ramps up the twig of Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. Fanning on the pass there for the moment was Ritzkovian. Here is Brichette. Cuts to the middle, was looking for a pass to find Hodson. He got the puck back. Only for the moment, however, after a nice show of hands there by Ryan Brichette. Sent back out to center, knocked down with one hand by Ardenaz, and he and Nick Strom will regroup with 3 minutes to go.
Very active sticks defensively for Northeastern to knock those pucks away.
Whitehead keeps it moving for his defensive unit. Long pass by Fisher. Onto the tape of Dylan Ritzkovian. Dropping for Lund. He will shoot. That one gets deflected up and above the net. Heideman's able to one-hand it along. Here comes Tyler Hodson with speed, but he is met and knocked off the puck. Turned over. Here's Heideman, and he missed the net wide. Austin Heideman had the chance, was going for that just inside that far post. Trying to pick up his second. Meanwhile, here comes Williams with speed. Williams tried to chop a pass in front for Lund. Taken away from him. Nearly turned over it is. Here is Williams. Leaving for Borghese. Knocked low of the goal for Ritzkovian. Leaving for Lund. Trying to pull it away from his fellow number 12. Borghese has a jump over his stick. Now here comes Brackett with a burst of speed. Brackett will force his way into the corner as a good defensive play because Heideman was trailing that play. Whitehead is able to steer that one aside with under 2 to go. Surdy fights to move it along the near side wall. Now here is Lund with Tinling right in front of him and nearly turned over as Gagnon tried to jump into the passing lane. At center, and it's ruled that Dylan Ritzkovian gained the center line, allowing for a clear with 90 seconds to go here in our third period. Beaton lost it but regained it at the line. Gagnon will sweep it in deep. RPI scored the game-tying goal on the power play here in this third period. To come back from down 3-2 to even in at 3, that's where we stand. Spinning away from pressure is DeMellis. DeMellis to the line. Kept in with one hand by Dorrington. Swept in front. Chopani keeps it moving. This one will go right down to the buzzer here at the Houston Fieldhouse and take overtime if they so choose. Gagnon pulls it free, knocked out in front. One-handed into the corner by Regula. Forced high up in the air, knocked down with the glove and kept in at the line by Sebastian. 30 seconds to go. Surdy's whiff of a pass ended up looking more like a fake of a pass. 20 seconds to go. RPI completing line changes for one last rush. Brichette deflects it on its way through. He jumps his way into the far corner. Goes from corner to corner, but the puck hops over the stick of Jake Lee. Ritzkovian finds Campbell. 5 seconds to go. Trying to knock it through the defender's legs. He's taken down on his way there. Shot doesn't get on net. Hodson will pin it along the wall. And we have reached the end of regulation at the Houston Fieldhouse. Well, Dan Fridgen, the Engineers got the power play goal that they so desperately needed to even this one at 3. It's been a very even game throughout, as you mentioned. So even, in fact, that we've got overtime coming up next.
That's right. I thought that was a good flurry there at the end by both teams as they went end to end to try to end this hockey game in regulation, but as it turns out, that didn't happen.
Well, we've got just over a minute and a half until our overtime begins. Resetting the numbers for you, Carson Cherepak, Engineers netminder, 3 goals given up. He's made 28 saves. On the other side, Cameron Whitehead, 3 goals against on his ledger as well. He's made now 21. So after that last flurry, shots on goal at the end of regulation, 31-24 in favor of Northeastern. Face-off advantage to the Engineers by a 3-spot, 27-24. They've also blocked 17 shots to 13 for the Huskies. The goals in this one, RPI opened the scoring on a goal from Austin Heidemann at 5:18 of the first. The game was evened on a goal from Jack Williams, unassisted at 14:03. Then 3 goals in the middle period. RPI scored. Danny Ciccarello scoring from in alone at 5:48 to make it 2-1. And Northeastern with 2 goals in a row to come from behind to take the lead. Williams scored again, even strength, and Peter Walton on the power play. But the goal on the Engineers power play from Jake Gagnon with Max Smolinski and Dovar Tinlin getting the assist at 6:06. That evened our score, and that is what we see through 60 minutes of play. It should be a pretty good one given the speed of both of these teams, but do you have any expectations what you think we may see in this overtime period?
Well, I think there's going to be some pretty wide open hockey here. Since there'll be a lot of space out there.
Trying to get a peek at what the Engineers may go with. Got a couple players over the boards. Looks like Smolinski will probably start it. No real surprise if you've watched this group. It will be Lee, Hodson, and Smolinski. Opposite the group of Cam Lund, Jack Williams, and Vinny Borghese for the Huskies.
All these guys good skaters with good speed. But I think the difference has been the goaltending so far. Both goaltenders have played very well to keep this a tie game.
RPI has not recorded a result in overtime in regular season play. They were 3-2-1 a season ago. Northeastern so far this year 0-2 in the extra period. They were 2-3-5 in the fourth period, so to speak, a season ago. Good one on hand here this afternoon. That will take overtime, if not beyond, to solve it. A quick line change before the start of overtime as Laurie Surtee replaced Smolinski. The 2 forwards remain. Here is Tyler Hodson. Hodson gains the line. He will weave his way behind the goal, being marked by Borghese, so you just see man-on-man defense, as is typically the case, as Hodson will protect. Finds Surtee at the point. Surtee dusts this one off. Looking to leave for Hodson. He lost it, but he gets it back. Here's Hodson shooting, and a save made by Whitehead. Hodson tried to sweep a pass back to the point, picked up by Jacob Lee.
That turned out to be an offensive opportunity for RPI, but it almost turned into a disaster with a breakaway for Northeastern.
RPI in the midst of a line change. Northeastern will start one of their own. They get 1 player off. It was Borghese. Here is Smolinski. Smolinski, Gagnon, and Mazzotti. Lund and Williams still out there as we're now a minute into overtime. Smolinski spinning away from pressure, shooting through a screen as Mazzotti was taking the eyes away from Whitehead and doing so effectively. Mazzotti tried to center a pass. He was spilled down. Walton will wheel back into his own end as his 2 forwards have been out there for now a minute and a half. They complete their change. Walton from a standstill. Mazzotti and Ritzkovian end up crashing into one another, I should say, in front of Whitehead's net. Ritzkovian, as you would imagine, given that he was going up against the 6'6" Mazzotti, was the one that felt the worst of that one. Here is Campbell or Ritzkovian, cutting to the middle, protecting with his back to the play. Knocked off the puck there by Gagnon, so Ritzkovian will take it back into the neutral zone. Line changes on either side, getting John Beaton out. Matt DeMellis on the other side. Is Borghese back there as well on defense. just about halfway into overtime, other than the chance from Tyler Hodson. That's really what we've seen. Here is DeMellis with a burst of speed, trying to spin away from Gagnon. Far side, backdoor feed, a shot, that one hit off iron. Borghese right where the post and the crossbar meet. Beat Cherepak, but not the iron, and we play on.
Wow, if he'd let that go right away, I think he would have had even more open net than what he had.
Poked away from Fontaine. Here is a race for the puck. Fontaine and John Beaton. Beaton with a rolling puck as we're, again, 60 minutes in and a full 20 minutes of play plus on this ice. One-on-one rush. That shot whistles just wide. Long rebound will careen all the way into the Huskies' defensive end. As Lund was the one who was picking up speed, he was being defended by the forward Burchett, who, to his credit, kept his position pretty well. 2-on-1 developing. Here is Williams. Backdoor feed in front, and Lund couldn't corral. Cherepak out of his net. Williams has the puck roll off of his stick as he was looking to take it back to the point, so RPI is able to survive that one.
A lot of snow on that ice. You're not going to get clean passes.
Puck takes a deflection into the far corner. Surdy pokes it free, but it ends up being an outlet feed. One that finds Dorrington, who falls. Man, you're talking about snow. Here comes Ritzkovian the other way. Can't get the shot free. He's got it back, however. Campbell, that one's poked off of his stick. Now here comes Brackett. Outlet feed off the skates of Burchett, sending the whole play offside. Now here comes the defender Walton, leaving for Ritzkovian. Backdoor feed, they shoot, and a glove save made by Cherepak. No, that one might hit off the post as well. Either way, it ends up going by the wayside under a minute to go. Here is Campbell, wheeling, looking for a shot, deflected on its way through. Knocked back out to the line, and Ritzkovian will take a look up at the clock and regroup right over center. Northeastern with the last handful of chances as we reach 30 seconds remaining here in overtime. Ritzkovian drops. Here is Walton. Forces a pass in front, knocked away from him. The other way comes RPI. Burchett will slow it down as this group at the end of a very long shift. Surdy was slumped over as he was heading to the bench, but he ends up prevailing. Here is Burchett. 10 seconds to go. Ryan Burchett protecting around Walton. Has his stick tied up. Campbell pulls it free, knocked loose. And with that being said, I believe we will head to a shootout.
Boy, those guys are gassed out there, but I give the edge in iron to Northeastern, 2-0. And those goalposts are your friends sometimes.
Well, the shots after all of this, 31-26 in favor of Northeastern. So here's the deal. The Houston Fieldhouse staff is going to clear off a path for a shootout, clear off the creases, and then do a strip right down the middle here at the Houston Fieldhouse, to my knowledge. And then we'll have a shootout session here for the crowd in Troy, as these are just minute 60 of our 120 minutes of hockey action here in the Capital Region this weekend. Not that I'm counting or anybody else is. But don't forget, face-off, well, for the time being, scheduled for 7 o'clock. RPI women's hockey against Assumption. It was a pretty remarkable story in their own right, Coach, as you and I were talking about beforehand. Their first year playing at the Division I level, they were introduced as a member of NUHA, the New England Women's Hockey Alliance, in 2022. Played one more year at the club level and then were elevated into Division I this year. So Assumption can get an automatic qualifier bid for the national tournament if they were able to win their conference tournament. So an interesting opponent for RPI coming up tonight.
I should say, you know what? If you're the Assumption coach, you're going to have a lot of patience, because there are a lot of, I think there's only 3 transfers on the team, so the rest are made up of freshmen. And you're going to need a lot of patience, because there's going to be some mistakes and growing pains, not just as a team, but as a program. So it'll be exciting to watch.
It will be indeed. 2 of those transfers were on the post-university team that RPI saw last year. It was 2 of their leading scorers. And they're regarded well. I mean, this Assumption group, they got more votes than St. Michael's in the preseason poll. So people expecting them to take a jump right off the bat. But again, you're right. I think it's about a 21-player freshman class or something like that. And it's such a unique opportunity. Were you ever part of any programs that were essentially being formed from the ground up like that?
No, and the toughest part about that is that as the years progress, you kind of have to get out of that type of recruiting rhythm of all freshmen. I do remember the only challenge I had one time as a head coach was that we lost a goaltender at the same time we were bringing in a freshman goaltender, which meant we had to bring in 2 starting freshman goaltenders.
Right.
And at the time it was Scott McCaskey and Joel Lang, and tried to get out of that. It's really tough to do. Really tough to do.
So again, that game coming up, that is 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN+. You still have time to grab tickets if you want, rpiathletics.com. And we're ready to go. We have a shootout on our hands as Tyler Hodson, the freshman, will backtrack and get ready to go as RPI will shoot first. Cameron Whitehead in the crease to our left. Carson Cherepak returns to the net to our right. We did see one shootout here in the building during preseason play as RPI and Union went to a shootout in their exhibition, but here comes Hodson, swinging left, cutting in on Whitehead to the backhand, forehand, and it goes just wide. Another example of the pad of Cameron Whitehead ruining the plans for the Engineers on offense.
Well, he's all of 6'3", and those wickets are really, really long, and he does a great job of spreading them out when he's down on his stomach.
Northeastern will counter with Matt Chopani swinging to his right. Now back to the middle, a couple of moves. Chopani, kick save made by Cherepak. And the legs of the Engineers netminder answer, and no goals after one.
I like that idea, but he had him spread wide open. In a similar situation as Whitehead, you're going to slip that through the 5-hole.
Here is Jacob Lee, second shooter for the Engineers. Did not play in the exhibition when RPI went to the shootout against Union. To his backhand and a save made by Whitehead. We're through 3 shooters and nobody has found the back of the net.
Do they go with Mazzotti for that forehand backhand?
Ooh. Wouldn't that be some poetic justice? Again, our pick is 5-hole if that happens, but here comes the freshman Dylan Ritzkovian. Swinging way to his left. Now back to his forehand. Ritzkovian to his backhand and Cherepak the save. Oh, Dylan Ritzkovian looked like he had Cherepak down and out. But a really nice kick save from the sophomore netminder for the Engineers, and we're scoreless after 2 rounds.
That was he had Cherepak. All he had to do was put it over the pad, but that pad's there for a reason.
All right, Fridge, here's the theory. Mazzotti in on goal, save by Whitehead. He did go for that 5-hole, but Whitehead saw it coming and made the save, and now Northeastern has a chance to win it.
He's got to come in from the side with a little bit more speed, go backhand, forehand, if that's the case. I would have liked the forehand coming in from the forehand, going forehand to backhand.
Here is Jack Williams with a game on his stick to his backhand, and he missed the net wide. Well, Williams had the chance to win it. He had 2 goals in regulation, but we're through 3 rounds and still no goals, and Dovar Tinling will get a crack.
Tinling's got a nice pair of mitts on him.
It was Tinling and Hodson combining for the shootout win for RPI in their exhibition against Union. Here is Tinling on his forehand. He shoots, and Whitehead the save again. 7 shots, 7 denials, whether they be saves or what have you, and Northeastern has the chance to win again. They counter with Justin Ritzkovian. Slowing things down to his right, now back to the middle, now to his right, weaving his way in. Ritzkovian scores! And it's the captain, Justin Ritzkovian, in the 4th round of the shootout that secures the victory for the visiting Huskies.
Well, the good thing is that goes in the books as a tie, but he's just back in the lineup being injured, and you can tell I was watching him going, okay, if I'm the goaltender, don't go to sleep, because that's what he's trying to do.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, a quick pair of hands, forehand, backhand, he's got it by him on the blocker side.
Well, he lulled just about everybody to sleep before firing it by the game winner in the shootout for the captain, Justin Ritzkovian, the junior out of Quebec. And Northeastern has taken the opener in a shootout of this 2-game weekend series. The final regarded as a 3-3 tie, a 1-0 shootout victory then for the Huskies of Northeastern. Dan Fridgen, before we sign off, your final thoughts on this non-conference bout between RPI and Northeastern here this afternoon.
Well, this sets us up for a barn burner tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock for the rubber match, basically for RPI. But I was happy to see RPI get a power play goal when they really, really needed it. And hopefully that's the start of something real good here moving forward.
Well, with the 2 official ties as it's recorded, Northeastern now 2-7-1 on the season. RPI, to their credit, 2-6-1. Both Carson Cherepak and Cameron Whitehead record ties on their records. Whitehead now 2-6-1. Cherepak 1-4-1 on the season. Well, as we mentioned beforehand, this is game 1 of our 2-game day here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Tune in tonight at 7 o'clock when the RPI women's hockey program takes on Assumption right here at the Houston Fieldhouse. You can also join us. Get your tickets at rpiathletics.com. Meanwhile, if you're looking for men's hockey, we'll be back tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, face-off RPI and Northeastern. They'll do it again, and Dan Fridgen and I will have the broadcast for you. Well, for everybody working hard behind the scenes, and for our producer, Joseph Bauer, at home working the 1s and 2s, and for my broadcast partner, Dan Fridgen, Dan Ball saying thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon. You've been watching Engineers Hockey on ESPN+.